Flashing your way right now, a New York City school offering 12-hour school days, and parents and students actually giving it high marks.
Also coming up, talk about horsing around. An Uber Eats employee delivers food on horseback, and it takes social media by storm.
Of course, a little bit later on. How about this for an unexpected friendship? A 22-year-old rapper meets the 81-year-old woman he befriended on Words with Friends.
Daily Flash starts right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Jackson.
And I am Mitch English, welcoming you to a Thursday Daily Flash. Whole hour packed with some great trending news and entertainment, of course. And we'll be checking in with Matt Doolittle, who, if he's not here, he's playing with his cat.
Yes.
What was his name? Kibbles? What's his name?
Biscuit the Kiki, and he's got his own official Instagram account now. So you can follow his adventures.
So sad.
But he's got this bad trend at 5 in the morning now of jumping up on the headboard to try to fight the bats that are outside.
Oh, they're out there, yeah.
But the thing is, the other day he jumped up while I was turning, and I accidentally punted him across the room.
Oh.
And I felt horrible. And I'm like, maybe he learned. 10 minutes later, he did the same thing and just jumped.
I always think cats never learn their lessons.
No.
That's why I guess they say 9 lives, I guess, whatever.
Yeah.
And having 2 cats, I have one cat that is both of them they're polar opposites from each other. One wants to stay in, the other goes out. One you can do stuff like that with. And he's like, I don't care. The other one would go and hide.
No,
so.
he, especially if it's me, for whatever reason, he just lets me do whatever. And I'm like,
that means he likes you. He likes you.
Unconditional love.
There you go.
So.
So a dentist is making headlines for saying that there are 3 times when you should never brush your teeth.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I know you're a tooth guy, Mitch. So
Yeah, it's a big deal for me.
Yeah.
And but they're saying never.
Never brush your teeth after vomiting.
Ooh.
Right?
Okay, yeah, because I can see maybe bacteria would get on
Yep.
you. Okay.
Eating breakfast and eating sweets. And the reason why this dentist specifically names these 3 times is because they are polluted with high acidity.
Oh, okay. Makes sense, yeah.
So when you vomit, you've got high acid.
Makes
when
sense.
you eat breakfast, oftentimes breakfast items are very high in acid. And of course, eating sweets have a certain pH level to them.
Growing up in Florida, orange juice was always on the table,
Yes.
and you had to make sure whether if you brush your teeth before you drank it or vice versa, the worst taste in your mouth altogether. I was at the dentist just about a month ago, and Liza and I went and had got some coffee right before, and I go, oh man, I'm going to the dentist. I said, so I went up there and I said, hey, do you have any mouthwash? I just had. She goes, oh yeah, don't worry about it. People do it all the time. And so goes and gave me the Listerine or whatever, and I went and sat down. And I go, thank you. I'm really embarrassed. She goes, I've had people come in here that literally have eaten Cheetos out in the lobby.
I'd be mortified.
She goes, I have seen so much worse than that. Do not even worry about that. But you imagine that?
Gosh.
I guess the mentality is, well, I'm about to get them clean. Let them take out all the nastiness.
I couldn't even. I'd be so mortified.
Right? You would think people would.
Cheetos before you go to the dentist?
She made me feel a lot better. I mean, she said they were eating it out in the lobby, right before they come in. They're eating Cheetos.
At the dentist's office.
Well, I mean, if you're going to have somebody that's going to clean out your teeth, I guess that would be the time you're going to do it. Because you're always doing that, trying to get it out of their teeth and such. Let's jump into some trending news. Yeah. This is interesting. We'd love to hear what you have to think about this. A Brooklyn elementary school, they're trying out a new idea when it comes to school hours. The Brooklyn Charter School, they open up bright and early at 7 a.m. They let students stay until 7 p.m.
Okay.
It's essentially a 12-hour school day. No additional charge, and the extended hours actually come with additional meals. Most of the parents say this new approach is actually a blessing, as they are actually trying to juggle their work schedules with the cost of additional childcare. Since the program started, enrollment has climbed to about 100 students. The school said programs after hours, including arts and crafts, drumming, dance, and coding lessons. Staff who choose to work the program get paid extra on top of their normal school day pay. The students also give that extended day a thumbs up. It's obviously, it's not mandatory, but for moms, single parents, maybe, what a lifesaver. And you know they're safe. And you've heard me talk about this before, about how we do sometimes think of our school as a babysitting service. And this is the kind of babysitter service I'd like to hear because they're offering them things to do after school.
Yeah, and kind of a safe haven. Well, mom and dad, have to work, and obviously with inflation and the state of the economy, so many people are struggling to make ends meet. So they might be picking up an extra job or doing extra work in order to try and keep the family afloat, which means more hours of their day spent on the job. And then you've got to kind of struggle with, well, what do I do with my kids? I don't want them home alone.
And they're latchkey kids,
Yeah.
and usually that leads to trouble. They're hanging out with the wrong crowds or whatever. So I like that, and that's where I think a lot of funding should go to is after-school programs as well.
100%. Well, residents of a suburb of Sydney, Australia, enjoy the convenience of delivery, but Uber Eats by horseback is a whole new experience. Locals were surprised to see a man in an Uber Eats uniform arrive on horseback with their food delivery. He was being guided through the streets by his phone, which was attached to his helmet. People stopped in the street to take pictures and videos as the horse strolled right past them. Uber said they are looking into the situation after several videos went viral. Spokesperson said there's no horsing around when it comes to safety on our platform, adding that Uber holds its employees to a higher safety standard and it's against policy to make deliveries on horseback.
And there was a lawyer that had to write that somewhere along the line, so you can't do that. But okay, so you get paid, you don't get paid by the mile or anything like that when you're Uber, right? It's just by the delivery. So if you don't have to put gas in, it seems like a horse would actually be a good idea.
And let's just call this what it is: genius marketing.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, because we're talking about it, right?
Right? I mean, sure, you don't have a policy about delivery on horseback, really?
And I have seen where people are on a bike and they're delivering stuff, and they have a regular pedaling bike, but they have a little cart thing behind them. I've seen that sort of thing. So what's the big difference between those two from a horse than maybe a bike?
And if you, I watched last week with John Oliver, and he just did a big expose on these food delivery things. These guys are making no money anymore. This one guy in New York put $3,500 into his bike just to be able to do this, and now they're cutting even more into their fees. So he's probably like, well, it's cheaper to feed a horse, I guess. I don't know. I mean, you know how much horses are.
It's not.
Because you have your
The cheapest thing is buying the horse. The most expensive part is maintaining it.
And if you think about that, you're right. It's like, well, I think which lends itself to this is probably a marketing thing altogether. Do you play Words with Friends?
I used to. I haven't played it in ages.
Wasn't Alec Baldwin big on that for a while?
I think he was.
Anyway, I don't know.
And then there's Wordle, which I've never really played.
Yeah, what's the difference between it? All right.
I'm not sure.
Well, right now, after a recent post on social media, it's actually gaining a lot of attention. A 22-year-old rapper told his followers about meeting an 80-year-old woman on Words with Friends. Two actually played more than 300 games with one another over the past year. They ended up actually becoming friends in real life.
Aww.
The musician posted a number of photos with he and his new friend. The game paired the two together last year when their rivalry started with the word fat, P-H-A-T, fat. Since then, the two have actually become fierce and friendly competitors. A friend loved the story so much that she offered the aspiring rapper a trip to Florida to meet his in-game rival in person.
Come on, that's terrific.
I think that's fun.
I love it.
Games, the internet bringing people together in a safe way. I like that a lot. Well, we just mentioned about Alec Baldwin. Hillary Baldwin, the wife of Alec Baldwin, recently met with the executives of The Real Housewives about joining the show. The 40-year-old yoga instructor was recently spotted with her 7 kids in Los Angeles. Sources say that her pal, Kylie Richards, who stars on Beverly Hills version, wants her to join the cast. When asked who would actually be a good choice to replace the recently fired cast member, Richard teased she lives in New York, but maybe she'd move. Last year, both she and Alec talked about doing their own reality-based series on their extended family. However, since then, Alec found out about a retrial for the involuntary manslaughter in connection with the deadly shooting on the set of his Western movie Rust. And already now somebody got convicted in that whole case, the prop master or the gun person on that altogether. I don't know. Do we want that much Alec Baldwin?
No.
Do we want to know that? I think we've got our fill.
We're good. I'm good. And I don't need any more of his wife either.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
And well, look, and if you think about it, with 7 kids, I mean, that could each one could bring their own, series arc. Think about that. A cleaning influencer has stirred up controversy after tidying up neglected graves without permission because she believes everyone deserves a peaceful resting place. Videos of the tomb bather and her midnight maintenance routines have amassed millions of views on social media. I like it. The woman, she's known as the Clean Girl. She records from an unidentified graveyard in one of the clips. Now, in some of the videos, you can actually see her shoveling dirt around the tombstone like she's about to dig it up. Then, in a bizarre twist.
What?
She starts spraying the headstone with some bubblegum pink cleaner and really just scouring it to clean it with a sponge. By the end of the clip, the gravestone sparkles like brand new. I like that, helping the community get a little bit better. My sons, when they got their Eagle Scout in the Boy Scouts, they cleaned up graveyards. And you think, oh, it's just a matter of pressure washing. It's a big deal. But it's nice because nobody else is going to do it, especially if you've been dead for 200 years. Like, who's taking care of your grave?
I don't know what that pink stuff is she's using, but I'd like to know what it is because that looked like magic to me.
The bubbles mean it's working.
Yes, it
right?
does.
All right, more Flash and more fun still to come on this Thursday edition of Daily Flash. Stick around, trending news and entertainment. Well, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. Our next guest, Mark Congdon, has a new book out. It's titled The Ideal Life, 7 Steps to Harness Your Stress, Discover Your Purpose, and Achieve Your Goals. Now, that sounds like the ideal life, right? The book's goal is actually to reveal the truth about human happiness. Welcome to the show. To Mark, so glad to have you here. And before we kicked off, you've got some big news to share with us. You just found out.
That's right. Yeah, just about 30 minutes ago, we found out that our new book, The Ideal Life, was an Amazon #1 bestseller. So we're very excited.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
That's got to be a great feeling, and which is actually it's probably because if you want this great life and great things happen, you got to kind of work on yourself and work through things. You actually ask your readers in your book actually to really confront the age-old lie. I'll be happy if I can just get what I want. If I can become a bestseller, I'll be happy, right? Or whatever that is in life. How is that a falsehood?
Yeah, that's right. And, the ideal life is actually not about experiencing the perfect life. It's about understanding that when we achieve our goals, their power to unlock the dopamine that makes us feel good goes away. And so goal achievement is part of becoming a better version of ourselves as long as we have another goal in front of us. So we talk about setting an ideal goal, a master goal for our life that we can then use to pursue the shorter term ones. And when we do that, we are able to set up a sustainable dopamine reward system that can continue to serve us, not only as we achieve our goals, but as we continue to become more like the person that we want to be after that achievement.
Sustainable dopamine that sounds like you're on an IV drip or something like that. But the way for us to get that dopamine, or basically to feel happiness and everything, is achieving those goals, is what I'm getting from you. But how do we, without just having like a broad statement, I want to be happy at the end of my, in my later years or whatever. How do we get to that point?
Well, what's interesting is the way to get there is actually by stressing ourselves out.
Okay,
so
great.
Cortisol and the chemical that makes us feel stressed is a critical part of our reward system too, just like dopamine is. The trick is to understanding how to get in that sweet spot of stress that motivates us to pursue our goals without burning ourselves out. And so the I Got This framework, which we talk about in our book, allows us to get into that sweet spot of deliberate practice so that we can learn new skills, achieve our goals, but do so in a way that unlocks the chemicals that make us feel fulfilled and motivated.
I love the concept behind this because it talks about our physiology and things that in our life, dopamine, stress, and that sort of thing, the cortisol as well that you speak of, which all of us as humans have. It's a matter of controlling it, though, I would imagine, too, because everything that when we're going for a goal, we're putting more things upon us, which leads to that stress. How do we circumvent that, or and still get the amount of stress that we need in order to be happy?
It's all about the control that you mentioned. So steps 5 and 6 of our framework are all about identifying the things that we can control that can influence the uncontrollable goals we're going after. So in the framework, we call that the objectives and tasks that we pursue, but it's critical. And the extent to which we can focus on the things that we can control versus put all of our attention on the uncontrollable outcomes we want, the more we can do that, the more joy we can experience in life.
That makes more sense. But also when you tell somebody is like, look, just you're not in control. How does that bring comfort, sort of thing? Do you just say, well, there's nothing I can do about it? Do you have that mental attitude? Because we want to be in control of our life. We want to control ourselves so we can obtain these goals. But, how do we go where we don't feel like we have any control at all? Or is that even a fear?
It's all about baby steps. So one challenge that people face when they are pursuing their goals or trying to deal with their mental health in general is to try to take it all on at once. And the trick is to not put too much pressure on yourself. So there's always something that we can control. Like we can think about our breathing and we can control
Okay.
the pattern of that, and we can control the way that we're going to approach the next 60 seconds of our life. So when we're faced in a situation where we do feel completely out of control, there's always a way to bring it back to the moment and find one thing that you can focus on. And when you do that, you realize that that unlocks a spillover effect that allows it to be a little bit easier to control the bigger things that are needed to pursue those bigger goals.
What about environmental situations? They put a lot on you as far as stress goes, or I can't do this because I can't be an actor because I don't live in Hollywood. That might be a broad statement or whatever. But how do you get around those sort of things and still not stress out or give up?
Absolutely. There's a psychologist, Dr. Gabriel Oettingen, who talks about mental contrasting theory, and we incorporate that. We have an exercise you can do that we call a dose 180. The dose stands for the chemicals that it's impacting: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. And the 180 is the idea that, yeah, you have this positive visualization of what you want to achieve, but the environment doesn't always allow for that. So you start on one side thinking about the positive, but then on the other side, you think about what are all the challenges and the negatives I'm likely to face? How will the environment maybe restrict me from controlling what I can control?
Okay.
And then making a plan for those challenges. And the science shows that positive visualization works as long as you're also negatively visualizing the challenges you're likely to face in your environment and a plan to overcome those.
Yeah, because
so we help people think through that.
Yeah, if you're ignorant to them and go, I'll overcome them. I'm not worried about it. I'll overcome it. Then it's going to come back and rear its head, and then you've not prepared yourself for it, which brings that stress and maybe the wrong kind of stress. I love what you're saying. I mean, it makes complete sense to be able to start personally where you're at and thinking about those chemicals in your body to make you feel depressed or why you're not going forward in your goals. The book is called, the best-selling book is called, you can check it out, The Ideal Life. You can check out theideallife.com. There you'll get these ideas and more, and you lay them out pretty easily. Is that correct, Mark?
Yeah, it's, again, you don't need to overthink it. It's a step-by-step system that really helps unlock the way that you can have a mindset to the other things in your life. And so, yeah, I'm really grateful for the impact that this book is already having, and I hope it helps anybody who takes a look.
Well, it sounds like it's helping a lot. Congratulations on your new status. Really good stuff. It's theideallife.com. We all want it. Now we know how to get it. Very simple. Take care of yourself. And remember, don't stress yourself out, but do stress yourself out. It makes sense if you read the book. More Flash after this. Hey everybody, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. It's time for us to check in with Tony Toscano to find out what's coming out of Hollywood. It's straight to your screen, no matter what size you're going to watch it on. With the latest, here's Tony!
Thanks, Mitch. Streaming on HistoryChannel.com is Season 5 of The Food That Built America. The docuseries is hosted by Adam Richman.
What's the recipe for food fame? Take a package designed for dog food.
We're about to reinvent breakfast.
And use it to wrap a tasty treat. Or turn a byproduct.
The fellows found them in the bottom of the gobstopper machine.
Into the main attraction. Or even combine crispy rice and Fruitios into.
These are great. What do we call them? What do they look like? Pebbles.
Each week, the series explores the history and innovation of America's favorite foods.
Oh, look, all I'll say is this. Whether it's soda or candy or pasta or snack foods, whatever the food you dig the most, we definitely have an episode on it. And I guarantee you don't know the whole story behind it.
The Food That Built America offers an historical view of how certain foods came about and were developed for America's appetite. Again, The Food That Built America is streaming on HistoryChannel.com. It gets a B and is rated TV-PG. Streaming on HallmarkChannel.com is the latest adaptation of Jane Austen's Sense and Sensibility.
Hello.
Hello. I'm Edward Ferris. You must be Miss Dashwood.
I am. Welcome to Norland Park. Your sister will be happy to hear you've arrived safely.
Step-sister. And yes, Fanny is widely known through the land for her deep concern for others.
Sense and Sensibility focuses on two sisters. One is torn between two men, while the other longs for a man beyond her reach. I chatted with Dan Gianotte, who plays Edward.
Why do you think people keep coming back to Jane Austen? Yeah, that's a good question. I think she writes about people's, interior lives in a way that is timeless. It feels so truthful, although the specifics of, the marriage game are different now. What was happening in people's hearts and minds is very much the same. And she was so perceptive in that writing. And I think also she was one of the first novelists to put, women's emotional interior lives front and center. And that's, that was groundbreaking to the point where we still go back to her.
Although this adaptation is a bit abbreviated, the gist of Austen's story remains in this very watchable and romantic film. Again, Sense and Sensibility is available online at hallmarkchannel.com. It gets a B and is rated TVG. For the Daily Flash, I'm film critic Tony Toscano.
Thank you, Tony, and welcome to your Daily Digits. Your first digit this week is a little happy $2 million. A home purchased by Bob Ross Inc., not Bob Ross, in 1996 as a classroom by the sea. It was used by Ross certified instructors to teach his techniques and carry on his legacy. Well, the house is in New Smyrna Beach, Florida, and it's up for sale at just $2 million. Although we know Ross's estate ended up in court and was a nasty fight for many years, most likely Ross had nothing to do with the house, so if they try to sell you this happy little house, chances are he never even set foot in it, so buyer beware. Your next number today is 25. Now, that's how many catchphrases Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson owns under an agreement with the WWE's parent company, TKO, of which he is a part of the board of directors now. Something that is unheard of in the world of the WWE is owning your name or your catchphrases. Well, The Rock has done it, securing over 25 of his catchphrases and names, including The Rock, Rocky Maivia, Team Corporate, Rock Nation, The Nation, Rudy Poo, Candy A, Jabroni, If You Smell What The Rock's Cooking, the Samoan Sensation, the Blue Chipper, which I'd never heard him use before, the Brahma Bull, the People's Champ, the Great One, Know Your Role and Shut Your Mouth, Team Bring It, The Rock Just Bring It, the People's Elbow, Rock Bottom. Finally, The Rock has come back to insert city. It doesn't matter. And Blue Hell, the millions and millions of The Rock's fans, Rockpocalypse and Project Rock, and the most electrifying man in sports entertainment. And again, this agreement is insane. It's never happened. Now, that's a lot of catchphrases, and he'll be using that on his other ventures. You're going to see it slapped on a bunch of Under Armour stuff. But I was wondering, guys, if we were to secure our catchphrases, of course, Andrea's would be good, everyone. Mitch's, of course, we'll see you when you look at you. And for me, it's my bad, I didn't know this required pants. So what do you think, Mitch? What catchphrase you want to lock up for yourself?
Well, see, with your pants thing and then Rudy Poo, just doesn't seem like they go. I can understand why The Rock would not want to associate, that with you and their pants thing.
I mean, hey, look, it happens.
Here's one. You ready? And get ready on the internet and about so on and so forth. I think we hear that very often.
So on and so forth. That's dope.
I'm hearing James laughing in my ear. 10 times a day, James will say that. We'll have more and so on and so forth after.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Jackson.
I'm Mitch English, welcoming you to Daily Flash. We are happy to have you here. Do you watch the show Mythbusters?
I've seen it a couple times.
Okay, it's a fun show. I like it. Maddie, do you watch it?
I've seen it.
It's a cool show. If you're not familiar with it, basically they bust myths or tell you if they're real or not. Well, they also have like a campaign where maybe like one show they'll do a whole thing on maybe Hollywood things, tropes like
the Jaws ones.
They've done that. Well. Okay, so Mythbusters did one about, you see in the movies where people are throwing a Molotov cocktail and they have a cigarette and they light it and they throw it and they find out it's impossible to do, right? Okay, so this guy back in 1986 There was an apartment fire. Unfortunately, 2 people died in that fire. And this man was accused of, somebody said, oh no, I saw him, had a cigarette, and he threw a Molotov cocktail through the window and it caught the apartment place in fire. Well, eventually the guy's like, I didn't do it. And eventually he just said, yeah, I did it, fine, whatever. And so he goes to jail. Well, the guy's in jail for like 2 decades. And this episode of Mythbusters pops up. And he's watching it, and they said, Adam and Jamie on Mythbusters say, it's impossible to light a Molotov cocktail with a cigarette, right? And, well, his lawyer is watching the same episode.
Oh, my
They get the guy out. He
Wow.
got out after 20 years and proved his innocence based off of that because there's no way he could have lied it. And they go, watch this episode.
Wow.
He got off. So Mythbusters 2, the rescue after 21 years, unfortunately, this man being in jail.
What was the Jaws thing?
The jaw.
Well, it was the big part of it was, could you blow up the oxygen tank in his mouth with a gun, like when Roy Scheider like shoots it?
Yeah.
And you're like, you really can't. It wouldn't do anything. It just
Most of
punctured.
them you can't.
It
Right.
wouldn't explode.
And then, the latter Fast and Furious stuff, anything is in that movie, and it's not going to happen in real life.
But it looks spectacular.
It looks cool, right?
It looks really cool. Well, the Brooklyn Elementary School is trying out a new idea when it comes to school hours. The Brooklyn Charter School opens bright and early at 7 a.m., lets students stay until 7 p.m. It's essentially a 12-hour school day. There's no additional charge, and the extended hours come with additional meals. Most of the parents say this new approach is a blessing as they try and juggle their work schedules with the cost of additional childcare. Since they started the program, enrollment, get this, has climbed by nearly 100 students. The school said programs after hours include arts and crafts, drumming, dance, coding lessons. Staff who choose to work the program get paid extra on top of their normal school day pay, as they should. And the students also are giving it a major thumbs up.
I like this. I know in my school there were some kids, they lived in a whole other neighborhood, so I wouldn't see them. The only time I'd be able to see them at school. So if there's something after school, I think this is just fantastic. It keeps them active. It's unfortunate that there aren't community centers where that they can go to, but they're out of school, the bell rings, they're still there, and you don't have to worry about them wandering anywhere, and you know where they're at
Exactly.
all times.
Other than, wandering home and then being at home by themselves if they have to be, or, depending on somebody else for the childcare.
Why not? I think we should see more and more communities doing this, so thumbs up for me too. We go down under, if you will, where residents of a suburb of Sydney, Australia enjoy the convenience of delivery, but Uber Eats by horseback, whole other experience. Locals actually surprised to see a man in a Uber Eats uniform arrive on horse with their food delivery. He was actually being guided through the streets by his phone. See it there? It's attached to his helmet. People actually stop in the street. You'll see somebody there taking some pictures, videos as the horse strolls past them. Uber said that they are looking into the situation after several videos went viral. A spokesperson said, "There's no horsing around." It's a play on words when it comes to safety in our platform, adding that Uber holds its employees to a higher safety standard, and it's against policy to make deliveries on horseback. As we talk about this, the horse is going pretty slow. Actually, now I am against it. Because if it's just gonna, I want Pony Express.
Oh, you want to see the cancer?
I want to see,
you want to see it gallop through the streets.
I want to see.
Well, if it gallops, all your food's going to be jumbled up. Your ramen's going to be a mess. Like, no, there's nothing good about that.
There's nothing good. I thought, well, okay, it's helping the environment, but I want my Wendy's burger now.
Then when the horse gets there for the delivery and he leaves the delivery on your yard, you're like, whoa, where's the cleanup fee here, guys? Come
Do you charge extra for the fertilizer?
I think, it should actually be extra.
I think it's a ploy by Uber Eats for a little bit more attention and some marketing.
You're right.
That's my guess.
Right. All right, we have more Flash coming up around the corner. If you go anywhere you miss it, don't do that. Well, Earth Day is April 22nd, and this year's theme is Planet versus Plastics. Here's tech columnist Jennifer Jolly with the coolest gadgets and tech tools that actually can help you save money as well as help save the planet.
Thanks for having me. Let's start with this new HP Envy X360 2-in-1 laptop made with recycled materials. It's a laptop and a tablet that features sustainable technology like recycled aluminum and ocean-bound plastics, also in its keyboard, cover, and speakers. It's a solid device too. Has AI built in, all-day battery life, and a vibrant touchscreen, all part of an entire PC portfolio built with the environment in mind. Along those same lines, this HP DeskJet 2800E, also made out of 60% recycled plastics. Pair it with their instant ink and paper add-on subscription service for even less waste. They recycle your old cartridges through their Planet Partners program and send you new ones made from about 3/4 recycled plastic and paper from responsibly managed forests. All of this works together for a seamless setup, enhanced connectivity, and a design that truly delivers on that promise of eco-conscious printing. Available online mid-April for $85. Okay, why would you use a giant jug of laundry detergent when you could just use one of these? This is a True Earth laundry detergent EcoStrip. Every 32-load EcoStrip package prevents one of these giant ugly jugs from potentially ending up in the ocean or a landfill, trashing the planet. And for every $25 of True Earth products that people buy, they donate laundry detergent to someone in need. Let's look at the true impact to date. That's 37 million loads of laundry, some 175 million fewer of these ugly jugs floating around in oceans and clogging up landfills. Now take a look at Garden Joy. This is an immersive new mobile game that lets you design beautiful virtual landscapes at picturesque locations around the world, all while learning about flowers and plants and trees. They teamed up with One Tree Planted to plant 1 million trees in the real world too. Just scan the QR code on the bottom of your screen right there with your phone. Download the game. They'll plant a tree IRL. The more you play, the more they plant. Husqvarna Auto Mower is one of the top 3 gadgets in my entire life. No joke. This one right here, the 450X. We just set it up, connected it with an app on our smartphone, and it literally keeps our lawn mowed perfectly 24/7. This one, it's all electric. There's no gas, there's no boundary wires, and it's whisper quiet as well. It also drives itself back to its base anytime it needs to charge up. It is so great. We live on an old farm with lawns and large fields. We set ours to mow from midnight to 6 a.m., 5 nights a week. Saves a ridiculous amount of time, money, and it is so much better for the planet. Several of their models are 25% off right now. Go to my website, techish.com, for details. Back to you.
Each month, Williamson Medical Center in Franklin, Tennessee celebrates their tiniest patients by organizing themed photo shoots for their newborns. It's a group effort, or labor of love, as they like to call it. The event includes an OB nurse turned photographer and a local woman who creates adorable pint-sized outfits. Look at these pictures.
You got roller skates. Check that out.
Oh my goodness. Because of the unpredictable nature of childbirth, the team often doesn't know how many newborns they'll have each month or when photographer Christy Lloyd will be available because, of course, she's delivering these babies. After the photos were initially shared online, Janet Wiedner, who crochets these special outfits, says she's been bombarded with requests to make the items available for purchase. As you can imagine, those are gorgeous.
Isn't that cool? And and made, so it's not like, you know, specially made for the child and that sort of thing. She needs to open up an Etsy shop or something and start selling those.
100%.
What a great idea to do, and it makes for the great. My baby picture, I look like a fat tomato, like in a. I'm like this. My head's all red. So I'd much rather. Why don't you dress me up in something crocheted?
Yeah, with the roller skates.
With roller skates,
that was super cool.
Right?
Stay with us. We're back right after this. Let's jump into Daily Flash Deals, where we share great finds at exclusive prices. To start shopping now, scan the QR code on your screen or visit dailyflash.com. Lifestyle expert Elise Ivy is here to give us all the details. Good to see you, Elise.
Hi, Elise. Hi. Thank you for coming. Love it when you do, because great stuff, and I think this one's going to help me.
Oh, yeah. I think you're going to love this one, Mitch. Do you ever wake up with aches and pains?
I do a lot. Even this morning, I did.
Even this morning.
The hand of the heavens, yeah.
All right. Well, listen, you're not alone. Even NFL superstar Drew Brees wakes up with aches and pains. Yes,
good.
And he probably could have partnered with just about every pain solution company in the world, right? But instead, he decided to partner with Copper Compression. He loved the way it has a multifaceted approach to helping relieve sore muscles and stiff joints. So if you come in closely, you'll see that there's a power button here, and then you have a gentle heat mode and also a vibration mode as well. So you can really customize what this feels like on your body. This is a knee wrap and an elbow wrap.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So, all right. I know that you like some portable.
Yes. Here's the thing. I dance, and when I go dancing, the next day I can't walk.
Okay.
And I'm certain that this would help me out.
Yeah, so here's the deal. You can use it on the dance floor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you don't actually have to be tethered to the cord. You're just going to plug it in. That's right. Or you can use it after the fact as well.
Good. Probably, and I will.
And you will. Well, it also is great for old sports injuries, of course, as well. So we got our friend Matt over here.
Yeah, basketball injuries have taken their toll over the years, and this has helped out. I've definitely had it on before I've gone to the gym the last couple days, just trying it out, and it's helped out a lot, especially like the left side of my knees kills me all the time, so it's perfect.
And isn't it nice that you can get a real customized approach to this with the gentle heat and, of course, your favorite mode of vibration as well.
Yep.
So you may be wondering why the name copper is in the name.
Yeah.
Copper is woven into this four-stretch fabric, so really nice and comfortable, adds durability to the fabric, but also an antimicrobial and antibacterial function as well.
So it's not going to smell.
That's
One
right.
size,
that's right.
right? One
that's
size?
right. One size. This is going to be for your elbow and for your knee. $40 savings today. It's 34% off.
Nice.
So yes, you're going to get one for yourself, Mitch, but also maybe we think about some of our friends and family members that need this as
Great
well.
stocking stuffer, right?
Yeah. Yes, I like that idea. Roll that up.
Now I can dance. And you can too. To take advantage of this great deal, it's very simple. Just scan the QR code, it's on your screen, or just head to dailyflash.com. Well, as we all celebrate Earth Month in April, it's time to get serious about your outdoor landscaping. Joining us now is lawn expert Dr. Kelly Kopp from Utah State University.
So for homeowners who want to sustainably maintain a lawn, there are some key steps to follow. The first one is picking the right grass for your particular climate. Spring is a great time to start caring for your lawn. In fact, April is the National Lawn Care Month. So when you start seeing your grasses waking up from that winter dormancy, starting to green up, that's a great time to fertilize with Scott's Turf Builder Lawn Food. And if you're planning to seed, this is a great time. So just grab a bag of Scott's Turf Builder grass seed once you know which grass type that you've picked.
There are a number of benefits of sustainable green spaces. For example, they can absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and then release oxygen, which of course we all need in abundance. And there are also some additional benefits that we get we don't often talk about in terms of quality of life. So for example, the time that we spend recreating or socializing or playing in our green spaces is very beneficial to us.
For more information, go to scotts.com.
Allergy season is in full bloom, and this year's pollen is no joke. Here's Dr. Tanya Elliott with some great advice.
Hi, thanks for having me. We are in the swing and the thick of allergy season, so I'm going to give you 3 really useful and easy to implement tips to help control your symptoms. So number 1, just make your house a shoe-free zone. Take off your shoes, leave them at the front door so you're not tracking the pollen in on the bottom of your shoes. Number 2 is just have a change of clothes handy and get used to changing your clothes as soon as you get home so you're not bringing the pollen in on your clothes and then going and sitting down on your furniture and then transferring the pollen there. And number 3 is implement either an afternoon or an evening shower so you can just, you don't even have to use soap, just rinse off the pollen off of your hair and your body, because oftentimes I'll have patients come to me and say that their symptoms are worse first thing in the morning and they don't understand it because they have outdoor allergies. Well, it's often because they're bringing the pollen into the bedroom with them. So quick and easy fix, just rinse off before you go to bed. Now, in terms of things to avoid, I like to make sure my patients are doing everything that they want to do. So the name of the game is symptom management. My recommendation is an antihistamine like Zyrtec at the first sign of your symptoms. It kicks in within an hour. It gives you 24 hours of long-lasting relief. I'm also a big fan of the children's product that's chewable, tastes good, and is dye-free. But the goal here is to not limit your daily activities, but to make sure that you have symptom management on hand. Now, if you need more information, you can check out Zyrtec.com. You can also look at ZyrTalk, which are really helpful and useful videos that break down the science in ways that are fun, engaging, and easy to understand.
All that work. The experts at Fidelity Investments say there's been an increased focus in the past 4 years when it comes to long-term planning and retirement. Here's more.
Our study found that 66% of Americans have become much more intentional about their retirement goals. And the largest driver of that was the pandemic. And people are redefining what they want retirement to look like. 2/3 of Americans now look forward to working for pleasure and would prefer a phased retirement. But there are concerns. Inflation, consumer debt, and building emergency savings are oftentimes the largest roadblocks to reaching any savings goals. The good news is that 75% of people investing feel confident about retiring when and how they want. And we know that having a retirement plan helps people feel much more prepared and much more confident. Save as much as you can. Fidelity recommends saving at least 15% of your pre-tax income each year, which includes any employer match. Next, figure out your investment strategy. And what that means is how much you plan to invest in your retirement plans based on how far you are from retirement and how comfortable you are with risk. And for more information, you could go to fidelity.com/retirement.
If you're finding it difficult to keep up with the ever-changing trends this year, there's a new tool that can help you stay fashionable. Here's more.
Spring weather can be tricky to dress for.
If you're looking for pieces to keep you stylish despite the season's constantly changing weather, online personal styling service Stitch Fix has you covered. Stitch Fix helps you conveniently discover confidence-boosting spring looks to carry you through the season. The service's unique approach blends its stylist expertise with data science to ensure clients receive items that fit their personal style, size, and budget.
Learn more at stitchfix.com.
This is Tim. Tim is all about time, and if you've ever had a chance to look into Tim's cold, dead eyes, you'll see that it's time for you to follow us on social media. Sure, there's 10,000 social sites out there, and we don't have the time to name them all. Seriously, just ask Tim. So take the time to look for Daily Flash TV on your favorite social sites and start following us. That's all the time, Tim. Goodbye.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. When the love of her life gets engaged to her friend, a woman puts her feelings aside to be the bridesmaid. But days before the wedding, she makes a spontaneous wish for true love, only to wake up as the bride-to-be. This is today's must-watch movie, Irish Wish.
What brings you to Ireland?
A wedding.
Well, congratulations.
Oh, no, it's not mine. It's my friend's.
I can't believe Paul and Emma are getting married.
You balance me out, Madeline.
We do make a great team.
We do.
Hi, Mom. I can't help but think that things would be different if I had told Paul how I felt.
You're gonna have to start speaking up for yourself.
It's too late now. I wish I was marrying Paul Kennedy.
What the? Oh! Paul? Emma!
Have you seen Paul? I haven't seen him anywhere.
How did he get in there?
What is wrong?
I am not the one who's getting married. She is.
Exactly. You, my friend, are marrying Paul Kennedy.
Yes! Come on.
Hello.
It's you.
How'd you get the ring on your finger?
You got down on your knee and you proposed to me.
I proposed? I mean, yes, of course. Yes, I proposed.
My publicist said that we should get some PR pictures in some idyllic Irish backdrops. He thinks it'll help boost my sales figures.
Oh, so not just a wedding, but a good PR event too.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're gonna spend the day with us tomorrow, can you leave your snark at home?
I'll do my best.
It's like a dream, although I'm not asleep.
Hey, you're pretty good. I'd love to get married up here.
Why don't you?
I don't want to be difficult.
I'd hardly call having a voice at your own wedding being difficult, would you? Is it everything you imagine?
I know this might sound strange, but I'm not sure this is supposed to be my life.
Now's the time to speak up.
That does it for Daily Flash. Thanks for joining us today.
Everybody.
Bye-bye.